Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful. The world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out. You don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun.
Good morning, everybody. It is the 7th, and I am okay. I'm okay. So yesterday, I got on a stream. I was incredibly nauseous, and so I stopped the stream. As soon as I stopped the stream, I went and I laid down for a minute, and I threw up. So I think that what happened was that I just maybe have a little bit of an ear infection, and I probably didn't drink enough water before I went to sleep the night before. And so like all of that gunk just got stuck up in there and kind of kicked off my sense of balance because everything got inflamed. Because, I was pretty much dizzy all day. And then I took an ibuprofen that kind of made it a little bit better. And then I slept, I woke up and it was fine. But my ears are like popping over and over and over again. So I think that I got stuff up in there. Anyways, so I'm okay. I think I'm okay. Let's go to the charts and talk about what happened yesterday. So when they started out in the E-mini, things were a little negative, but then once again, buy the dip. And this time it was a very extreme buy the dip. So it never ends. I don't know what is going on here. This one may be somebody trying to play ahead of the non-farms because the non-farms is expected to be pretty good. Non-farms, let's see here. What is the big number? I think that non-farm payrolls, mine says 978K. The consensus is anywhere from like 800 to like 1200. Okay. So they're expecting a pretty good jobs report, but the way that the markets react to it may be counterintuitive. There's a lot going on here. So let's go over the other things first. Oil actually kind of down yesterday. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the treasuries first. The treasuries actually didn't really go much of anywhere, but they're kind of actually still elevated. So it looks though like there is some pressure on them, like something might push them down after this news. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. Okay, gold and silver. Well, I think it looks better in silver. Here in silver, it was like, they took off. No, they didn't. They took off. So silver, gold and silver are now looking really good. Copper looking really good. So this reflationary narrative is still playing out. Put hydrogen peroxide in your air. I don't think it's from that end. I think it's from my sinus. So. Okay, so the thing is, you got to remember that average hourly earnings. So the average hourly earnings expectation is actually -0.4. There's a little mosquito right there. I don't think it's a mosquito. I think it's a gnat, but it's driving me crazy. It's -0.4. So that keep an eye on that one. It's actually expected to go back, but that's because of all this stuff. Like it was going up when things were bad anyways. It's all really weird, right? So you got that one, and then there's also this issue of like, okay, what if the non-farms payrolls is too good and the treasuries sell on it, and then that hurts the markets. So this is another thing that could happen that we've got to keep an eye on. So this dollar, the way that the dollar goes is going to be really important, right? So we want to keep a really close eye on that. That's my cue for Burl Lives as we're talking about gold and silver. Well, I got a position in the silver and I had added to it down before it took off. So I'm pretty happy with it. Two moves before is like, I always want to see like 2 moves before I start talking about it. Otherwise you kind of put yourself at risk. Let's get the text to speech going here. I didn't finish all my oatmeal, so I'm going to eat that really quick here while we're waiting for the news, all right? Oop, and that means also I got to come in and make sure that financial juice is going for me. All right.
Winstons Mum says, Chef, darf ich heute 2 Stunden früher Schluss machen? Meine Frau will mit mir einkaufen gehen.
What does that mean?
Winstons Mum says, Boss, can I leave work 2 hours early today?
Oh.
My wife wants me to go shopping with her. That's out of the question. Thanks, boss. I knew you wouldn't let me down.
This 8:30 move should be ridiculous. Well, I don't know, Uzi. There's a lot of factors to it, you know? I was reading something on Zero Hedge the other day where they were talking about why treasuries have been less sensitive to news lately, right? Now, that might not apply to this non-farms news, right? But I kind of feel like, you know, it's expected to be a big number. This will be the third in a row where they're going to be like up in the millions. Based on what the actual number is, I think that what we have happen here might be really counterintuitive. Okay, so you're going to hear that sound a lot now because the liquidity has completely disappeared. I'm going to set my orders to be only limit orders. Fernando asking about overnight trend price direction and economic news release. So I wasn't able to find any correlation with the economic news release, but the overnight, but I'm going to just mute that for a second. For the 5 minutes before, though, if the news contradicts the move 5 minutes before the news, you tend to have a much larger move. Oh my. Oh. I can't even read it. It's coming through so fast. Hourly earnings was spot 3 versus the negative spot 4. Holy shit. Okay. Non-farms payrolls for April 266 versus 978. Oh. Oh, really? Oh, this is so very interesting.
Got new all-time high. If such a number could stop them, law.
Okay, so look at that at 42.05. Okay, so the dollar took a huge hit there, first of all right? Dollar took a huge hit there. Treasuries just took off. So we got the number I'm getting here is non-farm employment change. Let me just verify here for a second. I don't want to tell you something that's incorrect. Okay. That was way too violent for me to try and click in on. So gold is taking off here. Wow, the treasuries just, man, I haven't seen the treasuries move that strong off of a piece of news in a long time. So the E-mini is trying to move up. Okay, yes. So the non-farm employment change was 266,000 versus an forecast 990. So they were wrong. The average hourly earnings month over month went up. So the economy is not as strong as they were anticipated, and the jobs increases is not as strong as anticipated. I believe that the treasuries are backing off here because they're saying, okay, the Fed is right. Maybe they do need to keep the rates low for longer than anticipated so that the jobs numbers can improve. The E-mini is having mixed reactions to it. There was a really strong sell at one point, and now that they're actually higher than before the news. I believe because the treasuries are moving up, and so they're kind of like saying, the party continues. Yeah? Got to stop incentivizing unemployment. Well, some states have been stopping that, huh? This whole thing is a very okay. So we are in like go time here, right? So they still got limit orders. Okay. How the E-mini sorts this out is going to be really interesting, right? Wow. You know what? I need to I'm going to let the turbulence subside because this is an area where, so even though I think I know what's going on, I think the flow is a little bit too strong for me to hold a spot at the moment. So let's just kind of sit back a little bit. Is it possible that you have but I don't drink milk. Did something happen? Well, there was the non-farms jobs number. Sorry. You don't want to miss that one. If you miss that one, man, you want to make sure that you get that Forex Factory calendar up or use Financial Juice. I have an affiliate link out there so that you don't miss those pieces of news because that's a really big piece of news you want to be prepared for. So the question is, what's it going to do after this? Okay, the Treasury's kind of trying to move back up a little bit. Oops. Cool. Open the NASDAQ chart. It looks fun. Well, you can see the NASDAQ DOM there on the side. It just have the numbers on it. Yeah, that's that was gonna make me seasick. And considering that I'm already still a little prone to being dizzy today, I think that we will just keep it where we are. Wow, this is a 3+ sigma miss to expectations on the non-farms. So this is one of the biggest misses you could get.
Kevin Wimmer says I honestly don't get economic data lol. Huge miss to new all-time high. Huge numbers to new all-time high. Uzi Knesset says they're running a covert UBI experiment. Jobs numbers were destined to be bad.
Yeah. Okay, so Feds Kaskari saying that the jobs numbers reinforces the Federal Reserve's approach. I agree with him. I very much agree with him. That's the number one thing I'm coming out of this first is, okay, the Federal Reserve is right in terms of they need to keep rates low for the employment situation to completely recover. Now I'm looking through the tweets here. Catherine Ross, who is the girl who interviews Kramer on the Street channel, says, I can't wait to see everyone's hot takes on UI and inflation. Yeah, that is definitely going to be the thing. Now, I think it's almost like this is like a worst case scenario, really, because it wasn't just that the unemployment number came in big time underneath the expectations, but that the income numbers were high. The income numbers were high, so my calls are going to print today. Well, you got to wonder, there is a lot of gamma still, it seems, at the 4,200 strike. If we were to start selling and the E-mini got back below that 4170 area, then you could get some really wild action. So the Treasury's kind of dipped down there. They're coming back to where they started at 06.5. There was a bit of a sell there, though. Oh, this is really good for my gold and silver position, though. This is, everything is proceeding as I have foreseen it. Because the yields are retreating, which is good for gold, and there's still concern about inflation, which is good for gold and silver. And if we're getting concerns of inflation and treasuries aren't going down, because really the treasuries are supposed to be like the hedge against inflation, really, right? Or at least how we manage inflation. That's even better for our gold and silver. That means that there's going to be even more money out there searching for a place to hedge against the inflation. Is of course Bitcoin, and let's see, did Bitcoin move off of this move? It did. It moved up from 56 to 57, 470. So it is reacting appropriately to this news. The one that's going to be the big question, though, is the E-mini, right? Because like we said, so there was a pretty big sell at one point. It went down to 41.96. So somebody did sell it. Somebody did reflexively come out and say, this is a sell. It did not hold. Fed's Bostic had not seen the report until now. Yeah. Yeah, because the issue in the E-mini is that the E-mini has been doing well in spite of what the economy underlying has been doing, because it's just been awash in so much liquidity. And so I think there's some question over here in the minds of the E-mini as to whether or not this justifies buying or selling it, on either direction. I think it's hard, and I personally cannot sort out whether the decrease in the outlook to the economy matters more than how much, continued liquidity support you're going to get from the Federal Reserve, But that's where I think that having the treasuries in our back pocket is really useful. We don't have to trade the E-mini. I don't have to trade the E-mini, at least. I can try and grab ticks out of these treasuries here. Darn. Come on. There we go. Easier on the T than the E-mini, absolutely. Right now, at least for me, maybe this is the wrong call, but right now I'm way more interested in trading the Treasury than the E-mini for a few reasons. Number one, I believe that the reaction that the Treasuries are going to have off of this news is much more clear than what the E-mini is going to have on this news, because in the E-mini you've got competing factors, right? There's the actual effect on earnings and the economic outlook, and there's the effect of monetary stimulus from the Federal Reserve that are kind of pushing it, in other directions. And it did go like some of you guys have been saying. Who was it? Kevin was saying new all-time high off of a miss. Well, you can get, moves like that just off of liquidity. But I think in this instance, there are some people betting that, hey, the party's going to keep continuing, right? So the E-mini is really uncertain. The Treasury, on the other hand, hey, the Fed is not going to raise rates. They're going to stick to their guns. And so this kind of pressure that we've been seeing in the Treasuries over the last few months can subside. So very clear reaction to the upside in the Treasuries, right? Number two reason, though, is that we've got way more liquidity over there. So like the E-minis right now, they're still putting up 20s on the DOM. Now, the liquidity hasn't completely recovered in the treasuries, but 2,500 is a lot better. 2,500 is a lot better. So we can make some calls there. And we should be able to... so my data feed just kind of crapped out on me for a second. We should be able to... another thing that might be advantageous for us here in the treasuries is we're getting the dollars getting killed, so that's going to affect it a little bit. And we've got the spreads themselves, which honestly, well, there was some significant steepening. There was some significant steepening, but at the moment it hasn't been doing that, man. So Rhythmic just totally pooping out on me there. Oh, is it only Jigsaw that's having an issue? Gold and silver also. So it's those three factors, right? More clear influence on treasuries, better liquidity, and better instruments to compare it with right now, I think makes the treasury trade a better call. I'm bursting my brain on the EASIA. Whew. Well, I'm going to try closing Rhythmic here. Okay. I don't think it was necessarily Rhythmic so much as my machine. So another thing is that it looks like we got the strange divergence. I'm wondering if I've got my spreads wrong or something, because the 2 and 10s flattened and the 30 and 10 steepened. Let me see here. ZT, ZN. ZN, ZB. Yield curve's just doing weird things, I guess. So you can see a little bit of divergence there. The 10-year is down a tick and the 30-year is up 2 ticks. I should have been bidding out at 03.5. Oh well. Let's see here. Fed hike bets erased, back euro dollars, now pricing in a full first hike mid-2023. Okay, so what they're talking about, LiveSquawk is talking about, is there was a large options trade that was put on in the euro dollar that was betting on the Federal Reserve communicating kind of a change in stance at Jackson Hole. And apparently this news caused them to take it off. Hmm. I guess not. So the 10 year is trying to drag him down. Oh man, you see that? Wow. Okay. Somebody, they really, do you see them stack that? So I really got screwed on that one. I think I still want to take that, to be honest with you. Yeah. Shoot. Shoot. So I think what I need to do here, yeah. $2K order at 98.50. Oh yeah. Do you think it's real? I mean, I do. I don't know, man. It's rare that we see use really big orders, then they're not actually real. But I have seen a lot of odd behavior around them lately. At the same time, you know. Ouch. Well, the 30-year came down, so that kind of. Look at that. It's a lot trading there. But here again, they're seeing selling in the 10-year, particularly, way beyond what the 5 and the 30 are doing. That just be profit taking? You could. this over here. Won't be in my way. Jeez, he is insistent. So are they taking those out with big orders? Not necessarily. So I'm not sure what that's about. So on its way back, 10-year still lagging a bit. It's the highest volume 1 hour candle in the ZN in the past month, not even close. Yeah, I bet. Oh, geez. Like it just sticks out like a sore thumb on a chart. That's funny. My ears are plugging up a little bit and I'm feeling a little queasy. Wynn says, quoting head of the SEC, new investment rules are needed to help protect investors as social media apps and other technology impact trading and financial markets. Yeah, I saw that yesterday. And I was really happy to hear him say that. Okay. Good. O3, please. There's a little bit, might be a little bit more stingy there. See them not pulling. Few orders nibbling at it though. Yeah. You get a thermometer in here. It feels really hot. The AC turned on, so that helps, but it feels hot in here. Goldman Sachs unveils new crypto trading team. Hey, I should go work for them. I don't want to move to New York. Can chew gum? Could be. I'm wondering why my sinus isn't draining if it's plugging up here. Because when I was in the shower, I felt like it was opening up so much. I just need to relax here. Is he going to go and try it again? Well, the ZB kind of pushed down there a little bit, so that was a little slightly different of a move. Kashkari, there are people who are holding off re-entering the job market as they take unemployment benefits. Yes, there are. If only somebody had foreseen this and warned Congress to not do that. If only there were lawmakers that had maybe, pushed to not make it so that people would make more from unemployment than from working. Many years, yeah. How many points is each Renko bar on your ES chart? I don't have a Renko bar. What you're seeing here is just a one range chart. So one range is each bar. Basically every price change that you see there. Been a little bit late on the draw on some of these. Oh man, I feel that cool air coming over here. Yeah, it's nice. Zero hedge. Pro-cyclical stimulus. Not enough jobs as employers can't find workers who opt for government stimulus instead, and the poor jobs number ensures that even more stimulus will be handed out ad infinitum. Well, so here's my take on monetary stimulus. This stimulus was way too much demand side. There needed to be more supply side stimulus. That's what this. Look at all of this. What this all comes down to. Look at this recovery. What does it all come down to? There are issues with supply chains. There should have been more of the stimulus directed towards the supply side. Okay, so a good amount trading back and forth at 28 there. But the ZB previously holding its spot pretty well, but now getting pretty creamed. I think that my charts aren't updating over here. My E-mini chart is not updating. That's the problem. Yeah, Ninja Trader has encountered some sort of an error. So we're going to kill it. Nah, it's just Ninja. I think that when I kind of had that hiccup, it was like all of a sudden I wasn't getting data, and then I restarted Rhythmic. It looks like that Jigsaw was able to recover the connection correctly, but that my Ninja Trader didn't. My Ninja Trader instead had a process that was crashed, and I just couldn't tell. It was acting like there was a process hung. Do you think the dollar is going to reverse the move? Well, let's see here. It's hard for me to see this particular event being good for the dollar overall. But they might retrace some of what they took, you know? Like all I can do is look at how much each asset moved and the correlations between them, and then ask, okay, is that spread really justified or not? $30-year backed up a lot more than the other assets did. The other treasuries did. So you can continue to see wide divergences between the individual treasuries. Since yours isn't working, you posted a dollar chart. Oh, no, that's something different. It'll be here in a second. You just give it a second. It's just reloading the data. So I've been thinking about this. What if, since there's all of these problems on the supply side, what if when the government did its economic packages, it set aside a portion of the stimulus specifically for companies that are involved in the supply side of things, And that would be nice because, of course, that will help create jobs. So that will, because those people are making money, that will create some demand, and it will prevent us from running into these supply side bottlenecks. Yeah. What could we call? What we could call it? We could call it supply side economics. What do you think, guys? Am I onto something here? This is ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous, I think. Okay. Are they going to come all the way back now? Goldman Sachs informed its markets personnel on Thursday that its newly created cryptocurrency trading desk had successfully traded two kinds of Bitcoin linked derivatives, according to an internal memo obtained exclusively by CNBC. Which means, by the way, that they're making big trades for other people, right? That's the way that works. Goldman doesn't prop trade. So that's what you should be thinking when you read that. Oh, I wouldn't mind grabbing 30 years, kind of lagging a little bit too much there. Something like 27 to 29. Phil? Let's reset it here. Did it give me a loss on one of those? Is that what the deal here is? Yeah, it did. If that's the case, though, then I wonder why I didn't move my basis down. Well, my NinjaTrader is like still loading data. I wonder, I'm gonna close it again. Okay, well, it closed fine. It wasn't hung. Was like Rhythmic decided they weren't going to send me historical data, I guess. This kind of shows you how much I don't care. Like, I'll look back on it to try and remind myself what happened. Like, okay, is that really what happened before? Yes. Okay. The ZB moved down more than the S. Okay. And I can't do that kind of, but it's not really affecting where I want to trade at. Ah, okay, so now I'm getting it. So now I can see that they did, in fact, retrace the whole move in the treasury. I'm quite surprised. Well, I'm not. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that I saw it happen, but I am surprised that the Treasury sold down. And it was a 10-year was really the driver on that move too, by the way. So that's all very interesting. How long? So it takes my charts a while to load. So I just restarted it. It looks like things are doing a little bit better. Okay, so now I can see the dollar move here up in the upper left. I don't know. I mean, that looks like a reasonable pullback. 90.3 was the low of that. And it wouldn't even be out of the question for them to move lower on the day. So, oh, okay. So it completely retraced in the ZB, but not in the ZN. But it was when it started the ZN. So it was kind of weird. What happened was the ZN was here, and then the ZB is here. Or we'll do it the other way. This is ZB and this is ZN. ZN pulled down and it dragged ZB and went like that. And ZB just like got crushed. Zero Hedge tweets, did Kashkari fall on his head today? For my friends on Wall Street, I have a lot of them. I hear from them all the time complaining about the Fed's policies that are mucking up their trading strategies. Yes, it's a chorus of complaints about the Fed propping up markets. Is that what it is? I'm surprised that they would be complaining that it's mucking up their strategies. Wouldn't they be like, oh, this is great? Okay, so like now it's completely done loading everything. We're good. Look at I got that little indicator, right? That shows you slips in the tape. Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of slippage around that news event. I think I need to create a I don't know. Like if it happens more than once, more than certain number of times within a single bar, it should turn off temporarily or something like that, you know? Oh, did I get my trade there? Oh geez, I don't remember what I was even freaking doing now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now I have to come back over here and look at my orders and 31. Okay. Yeah, they're still arguing about equities being up after this. Oh, really? That's funny. Somebody was messaged me and told me that on the Top Step Combine, they've created a minimum 20-second rule now, which means you have to stay in the position for more than 20 seconds. Forex Live. Is the weak jobs the result of a seasonal adjustment problems? Some talk about seasonal adjustment issues in the non-farm payrolls report is doing the rounds. If you look at the unadjusted numbers, there were 1 million jobs created. This is very close to consensus. The unemployment rate also fell to 5.7. The pandemic has made seasonal adjustments very difficult, so I would expect to see more talk about this. Looking deeper, there is a typical 1M rise in seasonally April employment, so the BLS likely uses that as its benchmark. It's probably the usual season hiring, but it's tougher to say how that trend would have been skewed by the pandemic. Oh, really? Okay. So that's not completely enough for me to completely reverse my view of this, but I certainly think it could explain the Treasury's reversing this moves. And as I'm looking, I'm noticing silver did reverse too. So I think I'm a little slow on the draw here. This whole thing that I've been doing over here in the ZN, I think that I want to end this little experiment and get back to the 2-tick thing. Okay. Joe Biden to blame Trump for this horrible jobs report in 4, 3, 2. I don't know. I'm starting to look at it and be like, maybe the reward isn't as bad as it seems. You guys still with me, by the way? Yeah, see, now they're getting it. I think that was something we got to be careful about here, because there's a lot of people I'm seeing like, okay, the report was bad, and we all immediately want to talk about how people can't find jobs and things on the supply side and all of that. And of course, I'm talking about the supply side stuff because of what Kashkari is saying. But when we come back and look at it, I think we have to discount a lot of the miss in the non-forms because of the seasonal adjustments, because the unadjusted number was 1 million, which was close to what it was supposed to be, right? So I'm wondering, that might make this whole thing, that may make this whole thing one big scratch, you know? In fact, so much so, okay, so here's the mini starting. Initial push is down. $41.95, $41.96 or so. Let's say it's 95 3/4, but is the low from the news right there. Darn it. Come on. Come on. Stack that 30 half. Stack it. Come on. There we go. Hit me. Hit me.
Block sell.
Yep, they're buying it. Oh, whoops. Oops. Okay, well, we're just going to do it like that then. I guess we're just doing it like that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think I fucked up earlier with my treasury trade a little bit. This one, though, is a more serious trade. Very happy with how this is going. I think I've got it right. think I've got it right. The news appears to be bad, but when you actually dig into it, it's not bad. So all of these moves are going to reverse. And okay, so the White House Council of Economic Advisors member Jared Bernstein asked about April payrolls report, says no course correction needed. This is not a bad report. I'm straight up, I'm leveraged long. In fact, if I'm so lucky, Win says, good to know if I want to send you any pants. Well done. We're liking it. I'm going to cancel that order. Okay, so now they're pushing the highs since the open. I think they're going to push the highs since the news. I think we're going to go and break a new high, to be honest with you. I think 23rd, 42.14. Yeah, I'm going to just hold this. Crypto alert, Elon Musk issues Dogecoin warning. Tesla CEO Elon Musk urged people to be wary when investing in cryptocurrencies Friday as his upcoming appearance on Saturday Night Live spurred investors to pile into joke cryptocurrency Dogecoin this week, leaving it the fourth most valuable cryptocurrency as its value soared to new record heights. Writing on Twitter, the crypto billionaire enthusiast said that while cryptocurrency is promising, people should invest with caution. Let's go read his actual tweets, shall we? Twitter, Elon Musk. Why is the top... Oh, there we go. Okay. And he put a video? TMZ. I will show this straight video because he tweeted it.
currency for the world?
Well, I mean, there's currently a poll to say, what do you want?
I want it to go. I'm in.
All right. So then, I mean, I think it should be the will of the people, you know?
But is there a problem because it's not limited, because it's not like Bitcoin with a limited number of coins and it can just expand infinitely? Do you think that brings away the value from the coins?
Yes, it does.
It does.
I mean, first of all, I think people should not invest their life savings in cryptocurrency.
Okay.
To be clear, I think that's unwise. But I mean, if you want to sort of, speculate and kind of like, I don't know, maybe have some fun. I mean, there's a good chance that crypto is the future currency of Earth.
Right.
And
There's a good chance. No, there's not. Sorry.
it'll be multiple.
White House economic advisor
But,
Bushi says the pace
but
of
it's
blockchain
considered
has been
speculation
going
at this
to
point.
Not Bitcoin.
And so, don't go too far on the crypto speculation front. The point is that Dogecoin was invented as a joke, as essentially to make fun of cryptocurrency, and that's why I think there's like an argument like fate loves irony. Like the most entertaining outcome is the most what would be the most
Oh, this was that video from a while ago, right?
as a joke. In fact, becomes the real currency.
Right. No, absolutely. To the moon.
To the moon.
Come on, read it. And my stock went up. My Dogecoin went up because you tweeted. You're amazing.
Okay.
How do you do it? The power of Elon Musk. You tweet and it goes up. You don't. What do you think, Elon? One more tweet.
Missed out on Bitcoin.
No. Well, like I said, don't take too much risk on crypto.
Don't take too much risk on crypto. So I think that he is even kind of sitting here thinking like is a little bit surprised at how far it's gone. That was from a while ago though, wasn't it? That video was from way back. In fact, let me open that back up again. Turn the sound off again. Yes, that was from February 6th. I remember that. Was that really that long ago? I think he must be tweeting that because he sees how everybody is front running Dogecoin into his Saturday Night Live appearance, and he's afraid that they're going to be disappointed. I wonder, is the Dogecoin moving from that? I think it should. I want to straight up sell it. I want to straight up sell Dogecoin. Can I do this? That's not bad. Binance is the biggest exchange that does it, right? I don't think that I have. Nah. Oh, there we go. I don't think that I have an account with them, so yeah. Search for coin name Doge. Doge. Why did it not show up? That's got to be wrong. Is this right here? There is a perpetual futures contract. course, the default one is a day. I would have to convert into USDT to do it. What do you guys think? You think I can do it if I went and I sold it right now? If I went and created an account and put some money over there and sold it today, would it be in time to be able to sell the Dogecoin? What's my downside? Right? If it kind of depends on how levered it is and everything, huh? I don't know. I don't know if it's worth the effort, because I could go and I could put $100 on it and it could decrease 50%, and then, you know, I might make 50%. I don't know if that's worth it. Let's say I put $100 on it, I make $50. Is that worth it? I don't know. Let's just say I'm going to come in here into Discord. Well, you know, let's say 6,100. Now, oh, you know, there's another thing that we need to check here. Yep. Okay, we'll do that. That will be my, that's my short right there from 61. Too bad these other orders didn't get filled. You know, I should have taken it the full. Ooh, nice. Okay. Now they're all still in tandem, actually. Look at the E-mini go. Look at the E-mini go. Breaking the overnight high. Shall I take some off? I don't think I want to. Hold up. $27. Well, it looks like it's backing up. The treasuries are coming back pretty aggressively here, by the way. And they all did so pretty in line. Should have moved that order. It's okay. There they go. Right back up there, eh? Okay. Oop, wrong one. Canceled the wrong one. Okay. there is some absorption up in there. Gamma trader, my view is like this going on a limb here, but if the number is weak, then the market is going to rally because people are expecting more stimulus money and are going to front run assets. And well, there's that too, but it's. Rio Tinto's year of high explosives and high pay patent organic overshadows more dinner. Well, I tell you what, when they were announced that they were going to possibly, undo the patents that they all had, those companies sure got hit. Okay, I'm trying to make a bigger play here in the treasuries, so I don't know. You just keep an eye on it here. I think that the Treasury should see like 132.18, maybe. Yeah, 18. What was that last one at? Okay. What kind of computer setup do I need to run two brokers at the same time, Ninja and Infinity trades? Well, so I don't know if your requirements really change too drastically if you're connecting to two brokers at the same time. Biggest thing you need to keep in mind with that is that if you're going to have two brokers like that and you're going to trade them both, you're going to be classified as a professional and you have to pay the professional fee, which is like $100 a month or something. So that's your biggest thing there. But I don't know if I don't think that having the two connections is really that huge of a burden, unless your computer was already like hitting up into the 100% CPU usage regularly. So I would, run it against your one that you got and see what the CPU usage is, and then if you're less than 50%, which you probably should be, then you'll probably be fine. Unless it's like a really, really old computer. That video of mine about the hardware is the most popular video. I really should talk more about the trading hardware kind of side of it. Need to get rid of that if I'm going to be doing this. I do want that though. Pierre says short. I'm trying to be long the E-minis and short the treasuries. The treasuries were cooperating really well, and then they reversed. Whereas the E-mini seems to be cooperating pretty okay, although I do expect there's going to be some degree of pullback here. You think of a short scalp on the ES? I don't know. Well, the theory behind my trade is that the jobs number, disappointing, is fake. Is fake the best way to put it? It's an illusion. The number actually wasn't bad. It was only bad because of seasonal adjustments. And the unseasonally adjusted number came in about where everybody said it was going to. You agree, but already priced in, you say? Well, it could be because of that new high. On the other hand, the volatility was pricing in that it could go as high as 2042, 27-ish today. So there's that. But there's another thing that's going on here, which is that the treasuries are still kind of elevated from where they were. So that's something that could really play in here. Let's see here. Where's my volume profile? Oh, there it is. Yeah, in the ZN. That is so high relative to everything else. No, I think that they really need to come back. I think the Treasury really needs to come back. It is rising here, but not on very much volume. It looks like what happened was somebody did come in and like took the trade and then took profits on it, I guess, or came into the limits of the order book, and it's coming back up because of all of that mess. Clearly didn't quite get the one I wanted. Now we are getting like the Canadian IVPMI numbers and wholesale inventories. Also, okay, wholesale inventory is just slightly under expectation. Sales 4.6 versus a forecast 1, so that's good. It looks like the E-mini likes it. Oh, so I missed that. Our strong treasury is good for the indices. So usually when the treasuries futures move up in price, that is good for equity indexes, yes, generally speaking. But kind of depends on why they're moving and which one is the one that's really driving the move. Right? Quite a lot of large orders coming through in here in the E-mini on both the bid and the offer side, so I'm not quite sure what to make of those. Some 100 lots popping in here. It is moving higher. I'm sure the Wall Street algos are well informed. I don't think too many of those algos actually look at that stuff, but it could be wrong. Going to the moon? Well, the E-mini certainly is. Look at that. E-mini breaking some new highs. Certainly fighting it. Certainly some volume fighting it, but, you know. So I was saying there in chat, let's just say that news comes out and you get like a 50-50. 50% of people say this is the economy is weakening, so the E-mini should go down. Another 50% say, well, this means that the Federal Reserve will keep on their monetary stimulus, so this is actually good for stocks. Okay? But then we find out that the number is, for lack of a better word, fake. Then 50% of those guys that say this is bad for the outlook, 50% of those switch to buys. So now overall you actually have 75% long, right? So it actually exacerbates the imbalance that you would have otherwise, because the guys that would be otherwise short off of this sort of a thing aren't. Yeah. Anyways, I think that we have a really, really solid informed trade long in the E-mini and frankly short in the treasuries too, although I don't understand. There must be something else going on in the treasury that I can't factor in because I don't understand why the treasury is going up. But I picked my spot. I'm going to try and swing it here. I'll use a 6th contract to skip maybe a 7th. I might use a 7th up here. Nice work on the E-mini long. Yeah, thank you. It's going to be fun going around. I've kind of been trying to keep tabs on people a little bit better. So it would be interesting to go around YouTube and see how other people reacted to it. Are you doing fulls? Now these are just micros over here. These are sim. Just to be clear, I'm still using sim contracts. So I've been using sim contracts because markets haven't been as sensitive to news as they have in the past. I wish that I had things set up so because I do have money in the account. But I didn't pay for the trade license for the month yet. So, wouldn't be able to do it right away. Otherwise, I totally would have taken that one live. Although probably would have done it with 2 contracts on 5. The going in with 5 was kind of a misclick. And I was like, well, we haven't taken any in the E-mini today, so I guess 5 is fine. You have 3 call options running right now, so you must be happy then, huh? So anything above 4,200 is probably good for you guys in the options. Look at them go. You're 20 years old. It's 22. It's good money. Oh, yeah, I bet. Oh, man. On spies? On spies, that could be a couple thousand, huh? Look at her go. So you can see the size showing up there. There's this stuff at 25, which you would expect to see, but you do see some orders around the 26, 27 area. So I do believe that's because of the volatility range adjustments and all that. So I'm wondering if this is taking over because they think the E-mini is going off of the, oh, there's going to be monetary stimulus. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is funny. Boom. Look at that. So strong. I'm going to take it there. Da, 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 and I'm done. Done in the E-mini, at least. Let's see if we can still sort something out in the treasuries, eh? Eh? That's really nice too, because it's rare that I get the full move, and I did it against the trend too. That's the best part, is that at the moment that I took it, they were actually kind of selling. So I'm happy. I'm right now. Now I wasn't the one that noticed it. It was Alligator in Discord. Alligator in Discord that first caught that. Well, and Forex Live, which I do follow, but I just didn't see them when they tweeted that. Could have, I probably would have done things a little bit differently in the treasuries here, although I'm still a bit perplexed on this move up. That's the one thing that's not in line with our overall investment thesis, is that the treasuries are not coming back to where they were before the news. Now, does that mean that we should take the short? Well, I did. I don't know if this is going to work out. I'm taking a lot of risk. Like, this is like a very experimental, not live trade. Yeah. You're done too, Pierre? Good job. Oh, hey, Pierre says, I changed my short for a long because of you. Got money both ways. Good job. Good job. Give this video a like, guys. This is a great video. This is a great day. Great day. I gotta come up with a better clickbaity title. The non-farms miss that wasn't, man. It's funny AF, right? 25 views, 14 likes, not going. It's fine. It's okay. We were up at 30 at one point. Yeah, we had 38 at one point. So we're okay. We're all good. It's all good. This is fantastic. Well, I'm not always so fantastic. Let me just say. So when I look through it, okay, and like, how do you make money in the market? There's a couple of things that I found you can do to make money in the market. One is you can arbitrage. Actually, if you're like a beginner, that might be one of the best things for you to do. is just find, a pair and a correlation that you're supposed to tend to see, and just take a teeny tiny little, like a one tick profit when it gets out of line. I play the cues. I think that could be an effective for you. You don't want to risk a whole lot, right? Because another way to make money is to just take on risk, right? You can just take on risk. If you go and take on risk in the E-mini, like overall, you're probably going to win. Or any of those, you just got to be careful. Like you have to be able to manage it so that when you're wrong, you don't blow your account. And that's what usually happens to people is they just don't have the ability to manage their risk, and they don't have a large enough account to be trading it the way that they're trading it, and so they end up losing money. How does a beginner arbitrage though? Well, sometimes. So the thing is that there might be a course. So like here in the treasuries is a great example today. Although I had difficulty pulling it out because the overall read in the treasury has been difficult, right? But you can look at the spread sometimes and you can say, oh man, like the 5 and the 10 have really moved up and the 30 hasn't. And I don't think that that's in line with the way that the spread should be going. So I'm going to buy the 30 in the anticipation that it's going to move up too. And you as a beginner can get those kinds of arbitrages because you're talking about correlations that are loose and dynamic enough that the robots can't really figure it out, is kind of the idea on that one. So if you can find, but I'd say to the larger point though, is that like with an arbitrage, you're taking like a very small trade, a very small risk, and you're supposed to have a really high win rate, right? So if you can find an arbitrage trade, I think that that's best for you when you're starting out. Anyways, but both of those things are kind of like not really, they aren't based on like knowing what the market's going to do or anything like that, right? To really truly last at this game, my opinion is you have to be an informed trader. And when you're not an informed trader, you've got to be cautious about what you're doing, right? You want to be the informed trader. You want to be the one that has a piece of information that the whole market doesn't necessarily have, and you know that they don't have, and you know that it affects the thing, and you're taking the trade, and things are in your favor. That's where you want to be. That's where you should be trying to get every day, every move. And when you can find it, you take it, right? That is the real true path to like really making money in the stock market, being an informed trader. And the vast majority of retail traders out there seem to be working on this premise that I can't be an informed trader. I don't need to be an informed trader. They don't even try. So it just makes your job that much easier, right? And this isn't just some dogmatic position that I have that, it came out. No, it's like this is the conclusion after years of doing this, trying just about every little thing under the sun, reading tons of scholarly studies about these issues. We want to be informed traders. Wow, there's some good bids at 03.5 and 03. And gold and silver trades kind of just flattened out. Perhaps the dollar will have to recover here first. Seems that the dollar not understanding. But like I said, I don't think that the whole market understands. In fact, I think that the majority of the market doesn't understand the jobs number. But it works out in the E-mini because a lot of the people that don't understand want to buy anyways on expectation of more fiscal stimulus. Good morning, Bill. How are you? Where is it going to go to? I don't know. Well, I took it off in ES because it hit the VIX target. We are seeing a little bit of pressure beyond that. The second VIX target would be up at, like in the 50s, it looks like. Almost the 50s, so... Yeah, let's call it 50. Now, Bitcoin did come back a little bit. Pierre says same, kill the long, but that's because, yeah, well, I think, Pierre, like from our perspective, we have such a big outlier of a data point here that how the indexes really react to it is so incredibly difficult to predict. I do think that the possibility of it going like beyond to the second target and beyond is certainly there, and the way that it's trading right now after that is great. But I think that we made so much on the first deviation that there's no need for to hold it if we don't want to. I could have left one contract on if I wanted to. I really thought hard about doing that, but I said, nah, you know what, we've done so good, I want to go back to the treasury. I don't know if I should sell my calls expire today. Well, I don't really I don't like holding unless I'm really deep in the money. I don't like holding options into the expiration. But I think that's just because I'm paranoid. Like, I want to be sure that they do exactly what I want, you know, in terms of like whether I end up buying the stock or what, you know, because I have had one situation or two where like it sold and they just gave me the stock short and I was like, what? Wait, no, that's not what I want. I just want to lose the money and be done. This could turn into a really, truly insane move. Man, BB's upset today. What's his deal? Kashkari slams Fed critics, pretend stimulus isn't helping Wall Street. That's funny. Yeah, because he's like, oh, some of these guys I talk to, it's messing up with their trading strategy. That's right. Yeah. And you kind of got to be sitting there thinking like, aren't they making money from all this? Come on. Probably there are some people that are value traders really upset at things. So the treasury keeps going up and up and up. The dollar's getting weak here. Does look like the treasuries the E-mini may be coming in for a bit of a pullback here. Who doesn't enjoy a reversal of the early move? Grab that popcorn, folks. It really is quite funny the way that it's trading. I can see how I have it wrong in the treasury, because in the treasury, the people that think, oh, this is bad and buy it up, probably they're probably going to stick with it, right? I think there was some people that said that they sold it and they're gone now. And look, it's been moving up. It hasn't really actually been crazy volume on the move up, though. It's actually been quite flat through this whole move through. So who knows? With it trading like that, it could be one market maker that just has an axe to grind with me. You know? Oh, Seth decided to go short. Let's bring it up. Oh, you're going to double down? Okay, let's just keep going then. Double down? Why not? Why not? Let's be irresponsible with sim orders, okay? Why not? Like, as long as we don't lose, as long as our losses are like below 10K or something like that. Hey, look at that. Ah, that's what I like to see. Pierre saying, short in the ES? Could just be a pullback. I don't know. So here's another aspect that I guess I didn't really think about, but certainly factors into the calculus too on the ES, right? So I think that what we should be doing is we should be pretending that the jobs number came out and it was 1 million jobs. So like, what do you think would have happened if when the number came out that it was just the 1 million jobs in line with expectations, right? What would have happened? Maybe the indexes still would have moved because there's just a lot of interest in it doing so, but like that's in line with expectations, you know? Now, there's these people that want it to go long, so maybe we still move up, but it would be limited. Because I think there is still kind of this concern about the latter half of May being down and us having already priced in the best. And like, I'm kind of been hearing that like this jobs report is going to be really great, and that from here on out they might not be quite as nice. You know? So there is a cap on this. I don't know really where it is. And hey, because of the situation, it could be the case that this just goes up all day. But because of the situation, it could give back everything that we took. So this is why it's really nice to just be one of the first ones to realize what's going on, make your money and be out, and then let everybody else sort out the really difficult parts, you know? Of course, I am still sorting out the difficult parts in the treasuries, so I don't know. No. U.S. Chamber of Commerce executive tells me, expect this to be a big emerging story on the recovery, while forwarding a statement on the biz advocacy group calling for an end to the $300 weekly benefits comes after jobs report. My take, expect a new lobbying push against the $300. Yeah. I might need to get back on Twitter and be a little bit louder here, because what I'm still reading all of the pundits. I don't think that they've figured it out. I wish a big stock market crash down to like the year 1991. That would be what the March crash wasn't enough for you. Here's the thing with the crashes, man. Oh man, this is a really interesting dynamic as it pertains to us trading S&P 500 futures in particular. So, and this is the problem that I've been experiencing, is that economic data hasn't mattered as much. You notice I like the economic data. I believe that I have an ability to sort out what it's actually means better than many other participants in the market. And so I've often found myself looking at a move, realizing something about it, seeing the market doing the wrong thing, fading that move and making money. And those are some of my best wins. Especially when you look at like my live trades. Okay. Everything else is kind of like a wash, but the informed trading off of the news has worked really well for me. So for me, when the economic data doesn't really matter, as it has been for a while now, that's difficult for me at trading, right? So what do? You do what everybody else is doing, I guess. You buy the S&P 500 and just take on a lot of risk, because that's really, when you look at the people that have been making money and all these guys on Wall Street Bets, that's really what they're doing, is they're putting a huge risk on the table. They're setting no stop. And because the market always goes up, it works out for them, and hey, taking on risk, the market will pay you for taking on risk. Okay. That's like how options market makers, that's kind of how they make money to some extent, is they're selling options. They're taking a risk that a lot of people don't want to have, because if you're wrong, you can lose a lot of money, but the chances of you being wrong, the chances of it moving beyond the pricing that you set, is really low, right? Okay. Well, so if that's the case, if that's the one way to make money, maybe even the best way to make money, is to just take on risk. Why would you do it with futures? Like, honestly, I don't see the case. Futures are good because you can go long or short at will. There's lots of liquidity. You can make this. So for news-based moves, futures are great. But if the market is just going to move up all the time, wouldn't it just be better to just be long something that you can hold overnight and just stay long the whole time? Wouldn't it be better to, go into the YOLO names? Maybe if you're really that bored, I don't think that the futures, where does it make sense to be in the futures, especially in the S&P 500, when things aren't going well, when they're selling? Because all of these hedge funds come in and they sell the futures to hedge against their stock positions. The volume in the S&P 500 is always dramatically higher when it is selling, and it sells so much faster too, by the way. You know what I mean? So it's like the time to really be making the short-term trades in the E-minis, I think, is when it's short. But when it is short, it happens so fast and it's so messy that as a retail trader, it's really difficult to make money on those. And then you get the things like happened during the pandemic, where they're like, well, because it's moving so much, we're going to increase the margins on everybody so that you really can't trade it at all. So then it turns into, well, you got to be the informed trader, know that they're going to sell it that day, be one of the first people to do it, and then just hold it. You know what I mean? Well, it's hard, but that's kind of the layout, the strategy as I see it, So for me in the E-mini, that's why I haven't been really putting a lot of live trades on, because I was just like, oh, I put some money in the markets. I might as well just use that and save the futures money for when I need it, for when something bad happens. Right? Oh man. So these right here at 30. Yeah, I don't want those there. We need some good news for the market to make it blow off top. All the amateurs are long and the little bears are run over short. But that's the best thing, Tommy. Really think about this specific situation. I cannot think of a better trade for a retail trader. Most of these guys don't know. Like, you go and look on Twitter. Pelosi making a comment here. The disappointing April jobs report highlights the urgent need to pass President Biden's American Jobs and Families Plan. We need to take bold action to build back better from this crisis by investing in our nation, our workers, and our families. Okay, now remember, the non-seasonally adjusted number was 1 million jobs, which is about what the expectation for the number was going to be anyways. So the reason that it came in so dramatically under the expectation was a large part due to seasonal adjustments. And none of these guys get that. None of these guys know that right now. You all know something. If you're in our Discord or you're watching this stream, you know something about that data that the majority of the market does not know yet. And frankly, may not know until Monday, based on the way I've seen these sorts of things go in the past. Now, there is a difficulty in that because you have information, but the crowd will be against you. But that's the thing that makes this one so great too, is that because of the particular details, the context around the myths and the data that we got, there's a number of people that want to buy off of that data anyways, because they think that more monetary stimulus from the Federal Reserve or from the government is going to come, right? So it's this weird situation where you have the information and the flow is going to be with you anyways, right? How could I can't possibly imagine a better setup. You know something, it's so simple to understand. I think it was because of seasonal adjustments. I don't know, maybe it's just me because I get it, but to me this is like the most awesome trade ever. But I don't know. We'll see where it turns out. The treasuries are coming back here for us, so that's good. They came back to 133. It looks like they're going to rest here a little bit. I do think that they're going to retrace this whole move, though. I love futures, but the interesting part is that when you compare the stock market with the amount of money the government printed, you see the stock market has gone up because of the printing, and not only that, because people are just buying. Yeah. But that was my whole point. Is in that situation, why should you trade future? Why should you trade E-mini futures? Right? When you really sit down and think about it. Why are we trading E-mini futures? Because that's what we do. Like, that's our specialty, I guess, and you want to stick to your specialty. But when you look at where the opportunities really are in the market, it's not in E-mini futures. I mean, yes, you can just go into the E-mini futures and go long and make money. Yeah, but your life would be a lot easier if you just went and leveraged up in some high beta names and stayed long in them, right? And the people that really made, I think the people that really made money through the pandemic were the ones that did that. And frankly, I didn't do that. I put a little bit of money at work, but I go for more of a value investing kind of and macroeconomic kind of play. So I didn't get into all those things like, Tesla and PLTR and all these ones that were just like a cuckoo up, right? I hate those kinds of plays. So it's like whatever is popular on the street, I don't want to be involved in that. But I really should have, shouldn't I? But it's good that I didn't waste a ton of money trying to scalp around in the futures and instead use that money to just be long indexes. Even if I didn't get nearly as much out of it as I should have if I had played the high beta names. And who knows? I did make a good call, but one of my good calls, the Sumo Logic, came all the way back because they're not a profitable business right now, and those names have just been getting hammered. So it was going really well for a while, and then it came all the way back. I was like, but I might just buy more on that one, to be honest. I don't know about the right moment to do it. I'm not so sure that now is the right moment to do it, but I think at some point I might buy more. Because I want my position to be worth at least 1K. So the government decides to fix that after trying to pay back the debt and raise taxes, making sure that the U.S. doesn't become like Germany after World War I, then it makes sense why the stock market was crashing. Not necessarily why to, because the objective is to grow the economy and inflate the money supply to the point where the amount of debt that you have to pay up is insignificant because the money is become inflated. Like that's a part of why you want to have inflation. It's one part of why you want to have inflation. Another part is just you need people to consume. You need people to spend money. And if they all hoard the cash, that's bad. But so as of right now, is the market saying that the debt is too much? I don't think it is saying that, to be honest. Like, you get some hints of it every once in a while. There was those hints when Joe Biden got elected and so forth. The Treasury's saying, well, we're going to make you pay us more if you're going to take on all this debt. Sure. But it hasn't been like an overwhelming force. So I think that the government could get away with it. The issue is going to be, do we actually get real growth coming out of this? So this year we should expect to see a pretty high growth rate, right? But 2022, okay, like if 2022 comes out and the GDP growth is 1% and we continue to be in that cycle, that's bad. And then what do you do about it? I don't know what you do about it. Then that's bad. And maybe though, I don't know if it would be like the system falls apart. I think that it would be more like, there would be a worldwide debt crisis similar to the one that happened in Greece. And what would actually end up happening probably is that some bondholders would just have to forgive the bonds. They would just say, okay, well, we don't want to go back to the Stone Age, so we're just going to forgive the bonds. And it will be other countries. So if there's like a worldwide debt forgiveness cycle, it could maybe work. If it comes down to that, it sure will be crazy in the markets when that happens, but it doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to fall apart, right? That's just one possible scenario. Of course, another possible scenario is that this, the Federal Reserve pulls back from the monetary stimulus and this market is crazy overvalued and it crashes down, and then that becomes a self-perpetuating cycle that makes everything worse. And, everything just falls apart and we have a great... I mean, that's certainly a possibility too. I just think that what tends to happen is retail traders always think about what would be like the worst thing that could possibly happen, or the worst way that it could possibly turn out. And that's not necessarily the most likely thing to happen, because in reality, the most likely thing that's to happen is that they work it out, Okay, so I got about 10 minutes left here. E-mini is coming back quite a bit more dramatically. What is hyperinflation? Yeah. That's a whole nother scenario, right? Because I'll tell you what, man, the inflation's coming. You can see it in the data. You don't necessarily see it in stock market prices yet, but inflation is coming. Every business across the board is seeing it. And I think that people are going to be really surprised by how much it really is and how big, it's coming. And that's where I say, like, this whole thing about the Federal Reserve saying it's transitory, I don't know if that's really true. Just look at the semiconductor market. So the semiconductor market is kind of suggesting to us that they're going to continue to have these issues for several years. So graphics cards are certainly a problem because cryptocurrencies are still doing great, right? As long as that's there, that's going to be a problem. And frankly, I kind of wonder, even if we have a complete collapse of the cryptocurrency market again, which I do expect should happen, the graphics cards may still be in demand because people are just going to be like, oh, this is the dip. This is when we want to get all the graphics cards, So there's that whole part of it. And then there's the constraints just on the actual chips, like that they can't get the substrate, essentially. My understanding is that TSMC is the only ones that make this substrate that many of these processors need. So, certain industries are just being completely locked out, like the auto industry, for instance, right? And TSMC is pumping it out as much as it can. And they're going to increase their capacity because of all this, but that takes years to build. So we could be in this situation in some of these industries for quite some time. So that's one reason why it might not be transitory. But another reason that it might not be transitory is that it seems to me like inflation begets inflation, just like deflation begets deflation. It's like everybody sees what's going on and it influences their behavior. And I tell you what, man, this market, there's a lot of FOMO out there in this market, right? There has been a lot of FOMO in this market. Let's just look at the freaking Dogecoin thing. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, if you see everybody acting like that with Dogecoin, what do you think that they're going to do when there's actually something serious going on and it's inflation? And how they're going to react to inflation. People are going to freak out and are going to go out and buy things just to get them before they go up. It is, and that could lead to more inflation. So I'm very concerned about the possibility of inflation and even hyperinflation later this year. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's a net negative on the S&P 500 or not. It depends on if it's accompanied with stagflation, right? If it's stagflation, then it's really, really awful. But I actually see a situation where it could be that there's just inflation and the market is doing okay. And so that actually results in the stock market rising, but not actually rising relative to the dollar. Or like if you were to value the stock market in gold terms rather than dollar terms, you would find that they're not really. It's just kind of going sideways. But when you do it in dollar terms, this is going to look like it just keeps going. So yeah. Okay, so we gotten down through our 29 now. I actually want to see a new low here, right? So the low of this was 25.5. Get your traders going to trade mug. Thank you for reminding me about that. Since I got to get going soon, I should go through all this stuff. I keep telling myself I'm going to do that for you guys because I know there's a lot of people that come in and they don't necessarily know what's in the video description. Like you might read it, but you might not realize why you might want it because, obviously some of this is so that we can make money to help with the stream. And my intention, by the way, with what we're raising here, because I got a big wad of cash to trade, but I want to develop more software, but I'm getting to the point now where like I really need some cash to do a couple of the things that we want to do. So that's what we're putting it into. Well, you get this Traders Gonna Trade mug is just awesome. And I love it because sometimes the market just does what it's going to do, and it's because traders are going to trade. And the reality is that the majority of trade that happens out there is just noise. So I love that. There is a Discord link in the video description. It is the largest completely free futures trading Discord out there. We've been around since before the channel. It is a great place. You can go on to Discord and message me pretty much anytime you want to talk to me when we're not streaming, because I love to talk to you guys. I want you guys to think of me as, your trading friend. If things are going bad and you just need somebody to vent to, you should come to me. That's kind of how I view my role. Okay, we talked about the mug. I also have a Patreon where I post my cryptocurrency charts. So if you're really interested in cryptocurrency stuff, you can go check that out. I have a model that estimates when Bitcoin is overbought and oversold. I have a Yada link that is just like totally a promotional thing. Like I love this service though. It's a savings account. So you put money in, it's still your money, but then they give you these tickets, and the tickets tend to be like anywhere from $1 to $10 when they give you the sign up bonus. So you go and you make money from signing up for the Yada thing. So that's awesome. And then I have my social media accounts, right? So I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, just search for Speculator Seth. Thank you. YouTube Finance. Brandon says that trading therapies. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to say that I am like a professional coach or anything like that. Okay. But I've spoken to a lot of people. I know where a lot of the pitfalls are. Right. But to be honest with you, the first question is always going to be, are you actually the informed trader? That's always the first. If you are informed, if you have information that the rest of the market doesn't have, and like a real trade thesis on it, that solves 90% of the problems. Right? What's your Instagram? I haven't made an Instagram. I haven't made an Instagram wine tube. Do you think I should? I don't know if I would really use it, to be honest with you. I really like the TikTok. By the way, you should follow at Real Stock Market Steve on TikTok as well. That's me too. That's my parody account where I make fun of everybody YOLOing all over the place. Fang route is okay. So FAANG is stocks. So I forget what the stocks are. So it's like Ford, Amazon, Apple. I don't know what the N one is. And G is Google. It's basically all of these big tech companies. So what they're saying is the big tech companies that make up the majority of the NASDAQ have been, Netflix, you're right, Benny Fish, Netflix. Write it in the bio, please. What, the Real Stock Market Steve one? Yeah, we should do that. Let's come in here. Let's see here. Edit. Bring it over here so you can see. Trader's gonna trade. Oh yeah, there's the Facebook groups too. I don't really do a whole lot with the Facebook groups. I should put in, you know what? We put the Jigsaw affiliate link in here too. I think that would be good for you guys. I mean, if you really want to do something that helps the channel out, you end up buying Jigsaw with the affiliate link. That makes a big difference. So I put that in there. Switch this around. Financial Juice News Squawk affiliate link. On TikTok. TikTok.com/ now let's see, how does it go? Yeah, you use the @ symbol in it. At Speculator Seth. Real Stock Market Steve. And do it like this. There you go. Livestream, Discord, yada. That's the thing. Yeah, there we go. Save. There you go. All right, guys, I gotta get going. Thank you guys for joining us on a stream. I'll see you guys next week, Monday. In the meantime, stay profitable, friends.